blue. The other thinks New York is red. Soccer in America from a German perspective. Let them put some sauerkraut on your hot dog and join them for the Schnitzel Boys USA Hour.
Yeah.
Oh, I picked the wrong intro again. My word.
That's correct. That is correct.
Oh,
That's all
I was
good.
so excited for the Germany hour today. Well,
That's right. Tell us why, Bjorn.
I will not let my enthusiasm be dampened by my technical. Stefan Schnitzel, you are a prophet. Nobody knows it better than you.
That's right.
You said
That's
it
right.
last week. We should play back the clip. We don't have the clip, but I said
I'd have to remind myself. I don't 100% remember. Did you go back and watch it? I think I might have said it.
I said I was complaining about the upcoming schedule for my poor and embattled VfL Bochum. They are playing Bayern, Leverkusen, Stuttgart, and Frankfurt in a row. And I said, where are the points going to come from? And you said they're going to get them on the road at Bayern. And I said,
See,
I made sounds like that. Now,
yeah, we're good. We're good here.
We do not know how serious you meant it, but that's not relevant. That is what you said, and here we are on Monday, March 10th, and we are talking about Bochum winning on the road, first win. If you had told the people of Bochum that before the season that their first road win would come at Bayern, they would have said that's unlikely to be true.
Would they have just in unison said that's unlikely to be true?
Yes, exactly. They would have,
or would they have laughed?
They would have
me out
chanted, "That is unlikely to be true."
So was I
In
serious about my Bochum getting 3 points against Bayern prediction? The percentage of seriousness was not 100%. However,
percentage of seriousness. Okay,
it was not 0%.
Big of you to admit.
It was not 0% either. It was not 0%. It wasn't 100%, but it wasn't 0% either. Because I know this league. I know Bundesliga. I know Deutsches Fußball. I know how it works. And kind of like MLS, the Bundesliga dare to predict it. You know, it's more predictable. The Bundesliga is more predictable than MLS.
Yeah, we'll get to that in hour 2 because MLS is. We have Philadelphia and Vancouver are the teams that won all their games. That is not something we would have predicted. But anyway, Bundesliga was crazy this weekend, and this was not the only weird result. But I don't know. I mean, we don't need to.
Well,
yeah, go ahead.
Let's organize ourselves. So Bundesliga. So we're back after a 2-week hiatus, by the way.
Yes.
So we missed last weekend as well. Last weekend wasn't as crazy, I don't think. But this weekend was pretty great. Then also we missed the first round of Champions League. We'll get into that. But for starters, let's talk about this past weekend, the latest thing. And yeah, you're crazy. You're right. The scores are crazy. You're not crazy. The scores were crazy.
I'm crazy.
Because in addition to Bochum getting a road win at Bayern München, which we'll dive into a bit, none of the followers capitalized. None. Bayer Leverkusen lost and Dortmund lost.
At home to Bremen.
Leipzig lost.
I mean, Dortmund at this point are not Verfolger. They are just mid-table. Dortmund are mid-table team.
There's one club very near and dear to the Schnitzel fan base that is doing well, doing more than pulling their weight, and that is Mainz. Comfortably in third place right
now. Mm-hmm.
Third place. But as far as the followers, Eintracht Frankfurt lost. Leipzig, 1 point. Dortmund lost at Augsburg. Leverkusen right behind. This would have been
at home against Augsburg.
At home against Augsburg. Dortmund at home against Augsburg.
Yeah.
Leverkusen at home against Werder Bremen. Not by 1, mind you, by 2.
Frankfurt at home to Union Berlin. I was like, come on, what are you doing? That's a game you're supposed to win. And they're now within reach, or they would have been if they had lost that game, would have been within reach of Bochum. Because we
But
are no
no.
longer just playing for 16th. We have our sights on getting out of this relegation mess altogether, perhaps, with
Right.
9 games to go.
Could happen next week. You're only 2 points off.
Yep.
Zampoli right above you at 22, you at 20. Holstein Kiel below you at 17. Heidenheim at the bottom with
Kiel,
16. That's the
but
bottom. That's the bottom.
Kiel got a point against Stuttgart at home, not necessarily what we expected. And then there was Hoffenheim against Heidenheim, Not gegen Elend 1-1. Heidenheim also got a point. So everybody got some points down there. But we
Bochum
got 3.
got 3.
We got 3, which I
now
didn't
why?
think, yeah.
What
Why?
are your theories? There are some special circumstances here.
Hey. Okay.
I'm telling you.
Sure.
I'm letting you speak. Share the tale. Share the tale among the folk.
Well,
about the tale
this
of
has not
Bochum beating
happened.
Bayern.
This has not happened since 1991. I thought this had never happened, perhaps, but it has happened once before, and that was in 1991.
Wait a minute. You mean in Bayern? I was going to say, I remember Bochum beating Bayern only a couple seasons ago.
Bochum beat Bayern a couple seasons, but not on the road
at home. Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, Bochum lost 7-1 a couple times recently at Bayern. Like these were ugly results. I was texting before. I was saying, if this is less than 4, I'm gonna be pretty happy. Now, Bayern started a B team, a B squad. But that didn't seem to matter in the beginning. It was, there was an easy early goal by Guerrero, and then a penalty that Gnabry hit the post with, so that didn't go in. But then it was like, all right. But then Guerrero scored again for the second, so it was like 2-0 up with the 30 minutes in. And I think if at that point, if you had asked anybody to say, oh, this is Bayern's last goal, they're not going to score again for the rest of this game, not a lot of people would have put a lot of, myself included, put a lot of money on that. But then the big turning point was a red card for what's his name? Former Fulham player, Paulinho. Yeah, he had a foul, hit a Bochum player high in the shin, and the referee didn't hesitate, got a red, and it was like, oh, okay, let's see.
We'll
take it for sure. That'll even things out a little, slow them down a little bit.
Cards change games, yeah.
And subsequently, Jakub Medic off a corner got a 2-1, so it was 2-1 at halftime. And
I'm looking at the minutes here in their defense. Medic pulled a goal back before the red card.
The red card. Oh, even better. Yes, thank you.
So Guerrero got a brace.
Okay.
Medic scored shortly after Guerrero's second goal. So it's 2-1.
Okay, yes.
So it was 2-0 at the 30th, but then Medic scored. And then 10 minutes later, Paulinho gets removed.
Right.
And at the half, you got a 2-1 and 10 guys. So
yeah. But then
it's not the end of the world.
Sissoko gets a quick equalizer coming out of halftime. It was palpable. The change was palpable. It was like Bayern came out of halftime, and it was like, okay, let's just slow things down and get this home. And we're men down, but we have a lead. These guys are chumps. Let's just sort of play this out and not exert ourselves too much. But Bochum came out, and they were like, something's here. Something's here for us to get. And they came out with urgency and very quickly scored the equalizer, Ibrahim Sissoko, with a first a save, then it was, and then it's game on, 2-2. And then Bayern had to bring out Vincent Kompany, had to bring the big guns out. And I think I meant to look this up. I was like, this has got to be some record as to transfer value subbed in ever at the same time in a game. Like, it was Harry Kane, Jamal Musiala, Michael Olise, and Konrad Leimer. The big guns. The big
Champions
guns,
League heroes.
Big guns came off the bench. The Champions League heroes, they were like, all right, we were going to give you the day off, but now it's a tie game. You got to come in. And
you got to
I
save
was
your
like,
bench. Yeah.
and I was like, here we go. I definitely thought this was going to be tough, but and Timo Horn had a couple saves to make, but not a ton. And
They
Barrow.
held it in stoppage time. They held it because even at 3-2 in the 90th minute, you just felt this is going to be a 3-3.
Well,
Like they have 5 minutes. They're gonna. Bayern München was getting them at the counter, and the guys coming at you. That's Harry Kane that's coming at you. It's Jamal Musiala coming at you. These are game changers. These are ballers.
But we got the lead with all of those guys on the field, and Harry Kane. I mean, this was pretty dramatic too, watching it, because Harry Kane made a very passionate appeal for a penalty, and in the same sequence, on the other end, Bochum, we scored the goal, and so then it's like, oh, is this going to come back? Did he get fouled? Is our Bayern going to get it? But it was the replay was pretty clear. He was kind of he's not one to do that in my experience, right? To like sort of ask for, because this was not a pen at all, but he got very agitated. And
well, if the chips are down,
I guess so. Yeah, and I thought for sure there was gonna be a late equalizer or something bad was gonna happen. The Bayern Dusel, lots of stoppage time maybe, but no, 5 minutes of stoppage time, no funny stuff. Moritz Borschinski came off the bench, played like heroic hold up at front. He was just like basically took the ball and headed to the corner flag every time. Although one time, he had a good chance to score the fourth goal. So very tense, but in the end, not that much happened. There was a lot of fancy dribbling from Olise and Musiala, and it definitely looked dangerous, but nothing. Konrad Leimer, the cheapest of the four, is the only one who got a shot on goal, I think, if I remember correctly. So just a wild game, and then of course much rejoicing. Dieter Hecking is a serious man. I mean, I'm very impressed. I am not one. We've talked about this before. He's sort of challenging my view on how influential coaches are. Like, we've talked about it in the past. That
I think we have differing opinions.
Yeah,
I believe coaches can do a little more.
Coach is not in my opinion, it's about the players. Like the coaches, coaches are coaches, but in this case, I mean, he has really turned these guys around. He's found alternatives in the squad to put pressure on the starters. He's changed the tactics a little bit, but overall, like these guys, they just believe somehow. This team believes that they can do it, and even at Bayern, they came out of the break, and you felt like something's possible. And I mean, that's amazing, because I did not, I did not believe in this team even just a little bit. I thought they were going to challenge for lowest point total of all time. And here we are. I mean, 20 points out of 25 games is still not, we're benefiting from other teams also being terrible, but that just the fact that there is now hope to get to 15th is incredible. So
which is
credit to Dieter.
Which is an improvement. Which is an improvement over last season.
Oh yeah.
So you're within grasp of having a better year this year than last year. See how that works?
In terms of place, yeah, because the other teams were also bad. I think we had more points last season at this point.
Well, look at the season overall, but it goes to show you the wide margin of error that exists at the bottom of the Bundesliga table.
This right now,
like 2 wins, and then now you're out of the holes.
Yeah, I mean that's true. So, if you can. We had 25 points out of 25 games last year.
So great for you. Great for Bochum. You need a little more Ted Lasso in your life, a little more belief.
Right? I think so. I guess so.
That believe poster, right? Psychology, man. Psychology, baby. It's about that belief. Any given Sunday. I mean, I can throw all the cliches away. The great movie Little Giants with Ed O'Neill and Rick Moranis, where Rick Moranis coaches a ragtag group of little league football players versus his big bully, big brother and their team. And he regales them of a story of when they were kids.
Mm-hmm.
He beat them down at a bike race down the hill once, that one time. And all the little kids are just like, you beat him? They're like, yeah, I beat him that one time. You only have to beat him the one time. And, if Bochum loses to Bayern 9 times out of 10, there's still that one game
Yeah.
where they get their 1 out of 10, and that's what this was. Now, yeah, you're right. Bayern played their bench. But are Bayern crying right now? How Bochum are rejoicing, but are Bayern kicking themselves in the shins right now? I would say
Well,
no.
no, because they are
Did it
also
affect them much at
benefiting.
all?
No, it doesn't.
No. They're still, because all the other stumblers kept stumbling, because this would have been a moment to close the gap. Because if Bayer Leverkusen did win,
Yeah, then it's 5 points.
then that's
Then
5 points. That means the whole, the ESPN crew, they're always ready to turn the Bundesliga off early. But if the Bundesliga title race would have still been on, but no. Bayern München they're now a clear 8 points up top of the table despite that loss.
Yeah.
They rested their starters because Bayern München had a really big game midweek. Same with Bayer Leverkusen. Bayern München and Bayer Leverkusen played each other in Champions League Wednesday.
That wasn't close.
And I don't know, Bjorn, did Bayern München did Bayern München beat Bayer Leverkusen so hard that it broke them for a while? Because in addition to them having a terrible game midweek, they then responded by not being able to win at home against Werder Bremen on the weekend. And now they have the München game coming up with and with a couple of key injuries. I think isn't Wirtz out?
Yeah, Wirtz is out. This is totally this is not gonna work. Yeah.
No,
I mean, I think they're a little weirdly inconsistent and soft. Yeah, this year Leverkusen it's hard to put your finger on it, but
when they played in the Bundesliga not a week or two ago, Leverkusen, it was a 0-0 game, but Leverkusen ran the circles around Bayern München on that field. Cut to when it mattered a little bit more in the Champions League.
Yeah,
Bayer Leverkusen did not show up, man.
Something's going on. Yeah, it's weird.
Well, but it's typical Bayern München. Whenever someone challenges them, they just are ready to destroy them back. Like whenever it's time for the Klassiker or whatever, whenever it's time for Borussia Dortmund they lose every other one of those. It's always 3-0 by 10 minutes in. So now it's the big Bayer Leverkusen. We think Bayer Leverkusen. All the predictions of the pundits. Like, I'm thinking Bayer Leverkusen. I was like, no, it's Bayern München, man. And then, sure enough, Bayern München made sure it wasn't a contest.
Yeah, it wasn't close.
It was not a close game.
Yeah. Let's just catch up on the chat here real quick. Daniel Young says hello, everyone. Yeah, Daniel Young. I saw Daniel at Yankee Stadium on Saturday.
Nice. Hello,
get to that later. Sebas S. Hey, Björn, what do you think of Bochum being 16th and 2 points away? I am in disbelief, Sebas. I did not think that was going to happen. Will Bochum escape the relegation battle for the 4th season in a row? Maybe. Sebas S said he told us Bochum would. Yeah, you did say that. I didn't believe. I'm not gonna deny that I was doubting. My Mainz 05 are 3rd in the Bundesliga. Yes, Bayern München are back again. I'm excited for Mainz 05 versus Bayern Munich. Could be a close game. You're right. Could be a close game. Mainz are in the ascendancy.
I have a question for Sebas S. Last year, towards the end of the season, around now, Mainz and Bochum were right next to each other, hanging out down there in the relegation zone. I know Mainz did a quick turnaround to pull themselves out of the hole. Now Mainz are 3rd place, man.
So that means,
how do you do it? Tell us, how is Mainz
Bochum Champions League next year? Is that what you're predicting?
Not at all. No, not at all. You know how I'm really good at predicting? That I did not predict. But 2 seasons ago, Mainz were like 5th. They were punched by they were 5th, 6th place, right? I believe Barrero was crushing it. Last year they were almost relegated. They had quite a slump. Right. This year they're now doing even better than they were 2 seasons ago. Talk about a Jekyll and Hyde club. How does Mainz do it? Sebas.
How do they do it?
What's going on at Mainz? How is it? The water? Is it the carnival? What is it? Who's crushing over it?
It's all the drinking. Yes.
Is it Leonard Maloney, the new German American, just joined in the off season? Is he a big part of their success? I mean, I know the answer to that is no, but I'm still
No,
glad he's there.
It's not Leonard Maloney.
But I'm still glad he's involved over there, but what is going on so right at Mainz?
We could
And
have
heck, well,
we could
Mainz
have
finished second this year, man.
we could have Mainz and Freiburg in the Champions League next year. Stuttgart is
Oh,
struggling. Stuttgart are dropping. Frankfurt are dropping. Dortmund, it's not even worth talking about. They are a broken team. We were saying how the mentalität needs fixing, and I think it does. But Niko Kovac is not doing it. They had a total collapse in the Champions League where they got an early lead against Lille and then did nothing for the rest of the game except waiting for the equalizer, which eventually came. And
that game was pretty tight. Like if you told me as a Dortmund or Lille, could go either way. I mean, I'm hoping for Dortmund, but
it was the performance was so
was it afraid? How do you
afraid?
say?
Yes, that's
scared.
the word. That's the word. They had a lead and they were just protecting it. There was no like, oh, let's get another one. It's like, no, we're gonna try to get this over the line, and they didn't. And now they're going to Lee with a 1-1. I mean, it's not like they couldn't win there, but it's still like, I don't know. They're not doing it. Leverkusen are going to be out of the. I mean, we always knew one of the German teams was going to go out because it's Bayern.
It's like there's a good chance Bayern München will be the last man standing by the quarterfinals already, and you'd hope, if it's just Bayern München the semis, that's standard. But you hope at least one other German club has the strength to make it through the quarters.
Well, they're the only one, yeah. And Zeba says, I'm feeling good, and I think we are overachieving. But with Bo Henriksen, he's a guy who made me believe in this team before the season started. I didn't say third, but maybe sixth. I really believe that Bo Henriksen is a good coach. I mean, I was not feeling that guy. He's got that weird hair, the wavy hair. But it doesn't seem to get in the way. He seems
the Danish
seems to be doing all right. The Danish Ted Lasso. But yeah, among all the teams that are good on paper, but mediocre, and Stuttgart and Dortmund are. Now this is still not over, really. Dortmund is like 7 points out from a Champions League spot. So it's not like this is we can write them off, but there's just something there. It's just not happening for them. It's just such a weird team that it's not working. Yes.
Well, it's I mean, with Dortmund, it either goes pretty well or it doesn't go well at all. It never goes splendidly with them. Even when they made their run to the Champions League final, it's cool that they did it, but
they weren't great in the league.
A little fluky. Yeah, they weren't great in the league that year too.
Yeah, true.
And then at the end of that's the season that Eden Terzic stepped down, right?
Right.
And since he stepped down,
it has only gotten worse.
Only gotten worse. So two coaches back later, and then
I mean that would again speak to my general theory that the coaches are not all that influential, and I think this team is just mentally broken. It seems like it's unclear what exactly is going on, but
yeah, maybe Gio Reyna is just that toxic. But Dortmund and Augsburg are tied at points. Both started with Americans on the bench. Gio Reyna on the bench and Noah Kai Banks on the bench. Both being Gio Reyna not getting, even when they were down a goal, got no minutes. So that goes to show you a little bit why. Here, by the way, a little update on Gio Reyna.
Oh yeah.
We were told at the beginning of the season he was up for a loan at Bochum that fell through. But you and I were talking about what club. You and I were talking about what club you should end up at, and apparently the paperwork was all the agreements were agreed upon verbally for him to go to RB Leipzig over the winter transfer season.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
The loan was set and agreed upon, but on the last day of the transfer market, Borussia Dortmund couldn't get a signing done or something. They either couldn't get one in or couldn't get one away. I think they couldn't get one in, So to cover their butt, they canceled the Gio Reyna loan to Leipzig and kept him on the
Oh,
roster.
okay.
And
Oh.
that's what happened. And
Oh.
that makes sense because he's definitely not seen as he's given chances to prove himself, and he's just not doing it. That's on Gio. And he does need a new club, and it's hard to. The whole new club thing has been much easier said than done, because in the world of football, that kind of stuff happens. But there was a very alternate universe where he would have spent the second half of this season at Leipzig, which is almost hopping out of a frying pan and into a kettle because
They're not
Leipzig
doing. They're struggling too. Yeah.
they have a
But
whopping 4 points more and they're up at sixth place. But I feel that would have been an opportunity for him to maybe reinvigorate himself and
I'm
get some more minutes.
sort of struggling to imagine how we would fit there, though. Like, what is the?
In an attacking position.
I mean,
somewhere there, maybe on the wing.
but where is the? Okay, that's interesting. All right. Well, it didn't happen, so.
Yeah, it didn't happen.
So there, but yeah, he needs to figure something out because it's not happening right now. Meanwhile, you want to talk about Zweite Bundesliga for a second?
Please.
We have the Super League, also known as the Super League, it's Bundesliga 2. Yes. The real Super League is Bundesliga 2. I mean, HSV, Köln, and Kaiserslautern 1, 2, 3. That could have been a Bundesliga table.
Oh yeah, probably
in the 70s,
that's a classic one.
70s, 80s,
heck, in the 90s, in the early
90s,
aughts.
even. Yeah. Köln still hanging in. They got a win on the road. Hamburg is in first. They got a big win. They were playing at home against Düsseldorf, and that was make or break for Düsseldorf because they were still in there, and they would have been a point behind Hamburg if they could have found a way to win. But they lost bad, 4-1, and now Hamburg's in first. And but it's still everything's so close. First to fifth.
I would like to
first to fifth, only 5 points.
I would like to share Köln's last 4 games. So they had a 1-0 victory at Ulm. Good for them.
Mm-hmm.
But last week they lost to Karlsruhe 1-0.
Yep.
Then they tied Düsseldorf at home 1-1.
Okay.
On the 23rd.
Carnival
and then
derby.
Before that they lost, kind of a derby. And then before that they lost at Magdeburg 3-0. Magdeburg at 4th place.
Yeah.
So the last 4 games are
only
not
4 points. Yeah.
They only got 4 points out of possible 12, so not amazing. But they are still confidently.
No, because they had a good lead, and they were for a second. It looked like Köln had a chance to pull away, but they did not. And now Hamburg has caught up. Paderborn had a chance to get in there, but they only got a tie at last place Jan Regensburg, so they kind of missed their chance. Sebas is asking, will Hamburg get promoted this season? I mean, it's still very, very tight. Stefan says yes, and he's the predictor.
Believe yes.
Stefan is the one who predicted Bochum's win on Saturday, so we cannot doubt anything you're saying.
I am Bundesliga.
Stefan Adamos, Schnitzel Damos.
Stefan Adamos. I predicted Heidenheim struggling this year. Not an easy prediction, but one that is slowly coming to fruition.
Oh yeah.
And
very much so. They're in last place.
I did not predict Mainz to succeed this year, so I missed. So I didn't. But I didn't really talk about Mainz much. I don't think. But anyway, I believe
didn't say they wouldn't. You didn't say they wouldn't.
I didn't say they wouldn't. So no comment. I get 5 out of 10 points on that. I get half points, partial points, partial credit. I believe it's Hamburger's year. It's the year of the hamburger.
The year of the hamburger
is back. I'll be honest with you. How about this for prediction?
Okay,
both of us.
Let's hear it.
I think I said this last week, but let's say it again. If I could choose who gets promoted, I would choose the top 3 now. Hamburg, Köln, Kaiserslautern.
Oh yeah,
I would love to see all 3 of them up in the Bundesliga.
We did,
and they are positions 1, 2, and 3 at 45 points, 44 points, 43. Magdeburg at 42, Paderborn at 42, and then followed by Elversberg at 40. And Hannover, my other club, I'd love to see get promoted at 7th place. But traditionally, Hannover is more of a lower league club anyway. Anyway, I would love for these 3 clubs to make it up there. Do you think the end of the year will be Hamburg, and Köln and Kaiserslautern being the top three, with Hamburg and Köln being promoted. Maybe not Kaiserslautern, because traditionally the third place team can never make it past the playoff. But do you feel the way it is now is the way it's going to end after? Because we have 9 match days left. In the next 9 match days, do you predict the top 3 to change by the end of the season in the Bundesliga?
I'm going to say that Hamburg and Köln are going to keep the top 2 spots. And I'm also going to say that Kaiserslautern is not going to stay in third. That is my prediction.
Do you think it'll be Magdeburg?
I think it'll be somebody else. I don't know. I mean...
And will that team make it through the Bundesliga?
No. Because they're
going to lose to Bochum.
They're going to lose to Bochum.
The playoff. Yeah, it's a safe. I think that's my. I think Hamburg is going to win the Bundesliga 2 this year, which would be good. Good for them. The fans need it or deserve it. I feel they've been in the lower leagues far too long, and I believe it's time for them to make the way back up to the Bundesliga
and make the Super League just a little less super.
Yeah, Heidenheim and Holstein Kiel will make the way back down there to make it more Bundesliga 2 like, and make Bundesliga 1 more Bundesliga 1 like.
Yeah, like restore order.
Were you about to say make the Bundesliga great again? Is that what you just about to say?
Yeah, I did.
Is that what you about to say?
I did not say that though. Did I?
No, but I felt the energy of it.
Get a red hat. Make the Bundesliga great again. I think most people believe that Mainz 05 would escape relegation, but being third to most people is absurd, says Sebas.
100%. I mean, Mainz could. Here's another prediction, since we're playing this game.
Okay.
Will Mainz make the Champions League next year? Will they host the likes of Real Madrid and a PSG or a Liverpool or a Barcelona or a Manchester City?
I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no.
You think they're going to slip out of the top 4 by the end of the season?
Sebas, don't be mad. Well, you can gloat. You can gloat if I'm wrong, because you had more belief in Bochum than I did, and you have more belief in Mainz than I do, and you're probably going to be right. But I don't think. I think a couple of these teams are going to get their act together, and they're gonna like, whether it's Leipzig or Stuttgart or even Dortmund, but I don't see this lasting. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, there's 9 home match days left. That's a lot, and Mainz.
And it's not.
I think they're doing great, but I think they're at their highest spot right now. I think they might lose some points throughout the next few weeks. But will they finish 4th place? Maybe, and then sneaking. I don't know. I predict that Mainz will maybe make their way. I hate to say this. I think by the end of the year, it'll probably be a 5th place club. I think
Europa League. Yeah, that's what
Europa League, which is great. That's exactly where you want to be. Mainz is the Rayo Vallecano of the Bundesliga. Like the little club.
Rayo. Okay, no, La Liga. Yeah.
Oh no, Sevilla is probably better. Look, there's a club in Spain that never makes the Champions League, but they win the Europa League 3 years in a row.
Yeah, they won the Europa League. Yeah, they're falling on hard times, so they're not currently so good. But anyway,
you know what I'm saying. The little club that and winning, like Mainz, it would be a great target for Mainz to be the Sevilla of the Bundesliga. The little club that makes the way in the Europa League, maybe win the Europa League like Eintracht Frankfurt did the year prior. Yeah, but I think we got Freiburg and Frankfurt right behind them with RB Leipzig in 6th, and like you said, RB Leipzig need to pull some points out. They're Leipzig, despite them having a terrible year in the Champions League, they probably consider themselves to be a Champions League club. So they should be making it. And then right behind Leipzig is Wolfsburg, who are doing some really great work under Ralf Hasenhüttl these days. We're Stuttgart, Gladbach, and then Dortmund at 10th. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of clubs coming for him. So there you go. So Bayern München, in addition, Bayern München had another piece of news this week that also could lead to their locker room vibes maybe being a little off. Because despite them dominating Bayer Leverkusen 3-0, they got themselves quite an important injury. An injury they get a lot these days. Manuel Neuer,
Manuel Neuer.
after the second goal was scored in the Bayern München game, Manuel Neuer celebrated so hard he tore his muscle or something. He got a serious muscle injury from the celebration.
Oof.
And he had to be substituted off and replaced by young Urbing, the young Bayern youth reserve goalkeeper. Young Urbing came on, and it's looking like Urbing is now the new starting goalkeeper for the foreseeable future because Manuel Neuer is going to be sidelined for quite some time. What else is new with Manuel Neuer? That boy refuses to retire and refuses to stay healthy. But he
so harsh.
Well, he's older and he just signed a new contract, and
he's about to turn 39 actually in a couple weeks.
I'm saying it's old, man. Even if you're a goalkeeper, it's kind of old. And Bayern München's had younger keepers, a lot of young keepers on the books. And it looked like Urbing is going to be the starting goalkeeper. How will that affect them moving forward? How big of a blow is that for Bayern München?
Well, I mean, time will tell. I don't know. They're going to win the league, right? It's not going to make them lose.
I think it's the Champions League we're talking
about. And were they going to win the Champions League? No.
Sure. What do you mean no? Sure. Bayern München's always up for winning the Champions League. Why not? They were looking good this year. I don't know. I mean, who's better than Bayern München this year?
In the Champions League? Like Liverpool, for example. PSG is looking quite good.
Did you see? Hold on. Did you see the Liverpool? The Liverpool PSG game was a smash and grab. Liverpool were
very much
heavily outplayed.
Very much so. They have, but I mean, always better to be lucky than good, right? Like they've had a charmed season because this is similarly they got away with one in the Premier League as well. But isn't that the sign? Isn't that the sign of a championship win? Isn't that what Real Madrid has been doing for years? They look terrible and then get a goal and somehow win the game. True. I don't know. I think Liverpool's up there. Inter is looking good. I don't know. We will see. I mean, I just don't see. I just defensively and just overall, I just don't think this Bayern team is up there. I think they are benefiting from from the competition being pretty mediocre this year in the league. And I think that's it. And I mean, they're going to obviously survive this and they're going to get into the quarterfinals and we'll see what happens. But I didn't think they were favorites to win. And I think this goalie situation probably not going to make that much of a difference. I'm going to say they're out of the cup. They're going to win the Bundesliga. Yeah, it's not that big a deal. Manuel Neuer should probably, I agree with you, think about retiring with grace and style.
Joshua Kimmich, another news.
His contract he's going to leave. Yeah,
I thought he just signed his contract.
Oh, this changed.
That was Dunworth. Was that?
Oh, okay. You have more recent info.
I saw on Facebook him holding a jersey that 2030 on it with a smile.
Okay.
It's got to be. I'll put two and two together. He just signed. Here we go. Joshua Kimmich's new monstrous salary to keep him near the top of Bayern München's wage structure. It looks as though it's finally nearing its resolve as a player is set to sign a new contract with a deviant salary over the summer. Yeah, it's looking like him a $20 million a year contract. I think they settled that. So Joshua Kimmich is staying.
I read a thing on Twitter. It says like Bayern is done. They're not going to raise their offer.
That was last week.
Leave. Yeah, that was last week.
I was part of the cat and mouse. Part of the cat and mouse.
Yes. I hadn't kept up. I hadn't kept up in the cat and mouse.
You know, he's always talking about going off with Hansi Flick to Barcelona. Apparently, PSG put a very serious offer in for Kimmich. But I think they just use that to try to squeeze. I think he's at $17 million a year, and they wanted to give him a pay cut, and he's like, no, I got to pay raise. And the reports are he's going to sign a $20 million a year. Well, that's what he was at already. So he's just going to keep being one of the big ones. But anyway, but I saw more. I thought the Champions League was relatively wide open, and I thought Bayern München were as good as anybody to win it. I didn't consider a Real Madrid or a Liverpool to be a league above Bayern München this year. Now Bayern München does have a thing where they have not been winning their big games.
That would be the first time a team wins the Champions League that lost to Bochum the same year.
Maybe. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if that we might have to look that one up. We have to look that
You
one
think
up.
so? You think so? Maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I mean, maybe. I remember a very vivid game. This might have been already in
Last time
2004.
Bayern won the Champions League, I don't think Bochum were in the Bundesliga. And
Yeah, maybe. I remember Bochum beating Bayern München 1-0, a goal from Peter Maya, I think, or whatever his name was. And it was like 2004, 2003.
Oh, okay.
And they won 1-0. And I was like, hey.
I mean,
I also thought that was maybe in München, but I
you're
guess you're saying
probably right. No, 1991 was the last time that happened.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
you're probably right. We could probably find an instance where this happened, but it would be still pretty unusual. I mean, if it's a home game, I think lost at home to Bochum, that'll narrow it down. Anyway, yeah, okay. If you're confident, great. I don't see it, but we'll see.
However, no, but now with Übing in goal, I think that's done with. I don't know if it's a young keeper trial by fire. I think it really harms it doesn't harm their Bundesliga chances, but I think it harms their Champions League prospects a little more aggressively.
But the loss to Madrid was kind of on Neuer a little bit, no, last year.
Sure, in the final, the spill, the spill, the great spill,
the great Neuer spill. So it's not like he's been infallible.
No, I haven't been saying that either. But the first game under Übing, they lost to Bochum at home 3-2. So that's not looking good either.
Kicker survey here. I'm just looking. 17%. 17% of I should have phrased this differently. But anyway, 17% of people think that Leverkusen is going to turn it around tomorrow against Bayern.
Well, I was going to say it's not a done deal, man. I mean, is it unlikely? Hell yeah. But like I said, Neuer's not in goal. Bayern München were just destroyed over the weekend. They might be a little bit affected. Them. Maybe. I mean, Bayern Leverkusen's broken too, but maybe they'll rally. Maybe they'll get that 4-0 home win, man. Probably not, but you never know. Weirder things have happened.
Yeah, we have Barcelona against Benfica. Barcelona is grieving their team doctor who passed away unexpectedly. They postponed the game over the weekend, so that's going to be emotional for them. Then we have Leverkusen Bayern. Inter against Feyenoord. That's already done. The only game that's really tomorrow that's really tight is Liverpool and PSG, but Liverpool did get a lead and they're at home. And on Wednesday, we have Lille against Borussia Dortmund, Villa against Bruges, Atletico Madrid against Real Madrid. That one's an interesting one. And the real tight matchup, Arsenal against PSV. That's going to be a real nail biter.
No, you know why PSV lost 7-1? They were missing a certain element.
Because
of what that element is, Bjorn?
The Americans.
The Americans were going. If all three of your Americans are injured, and the only American you have is some Mexican American who refuses to commit to either, then that's just a recipe for disaster.
Yeah, and that's how.
So that's how that works. If PSV wanted to win or at least tie, give a challenge, then you needed Malik Tillman on the bench. You needed Malik Tillman out there. You needed Sergio Dest out there. I needed Ricardo Pepi out there. Sergio Dest played, or at least he sat on the bench over the weekend.
Yeah, he came back.
He's slowly back. So I hope, I mean, I'm waiting for 2 weeks to go by and for him to re-injure his leg again and just be silent for the rest of the year. But I'm hoping he's making his way back. Tyler Adams is healthy and playing, thankfully.
Yeah.
Rico Pepe, we need you back as soon as possible. We have our Nations League. I have a ticket to the Nations League final, by the way, in 2 weeks, so I'll be there.
Oh. Wait. Where is that?
Los Angeles, California.
Okay.
Huh. USA, Mexico, baby. Unfortunately, likes Ricardo Pepe are injured, but should be the rest of the A team. Pulisic hopefully will be there, healthy and playing, and Tyler Adams will be playing, and McKennie will be playing. And who's that AC Milan Mexican forward? Santi Jimenez? AC Milan's Mexico star will be there.
Okay.
His name escapes me at the moment. I think it's Santi Jimenez. AC Milan, the Borussia Dortmund of Italy, as they are in 9th place. But anyway, I'll be there 2 weeks.
Pulisic had a big game. Over the weekend.
2 goals to beat Lecce. supposed to beat Lecce. No,
he's
telling
up
you, Americans
he's
are,
up for a big contract extension. Like he's doing well, even though
even though Milan's not doing well.
Yeah,
We had a conversation not 6 months ago about Americans not getting minutes, Americans on the bench, and all Americans are regularly playing right now. And when they're healthy, they're playing for the most part. I think there's maybe one or two exceptions, but McKennie's playing regularly. He's captaining. Pulley's playing. Ricardo Pepi's playing finally until he got his injury. All the people that weren't playing, like Timo Weah's getting some regular minutes. Yunus Musa's getting regular minutes. Everybody's playing. They're all club playing. So the advancement of our young crew is moving along nicely.
right.
It's looking good. It's looking good.
David Riccio is showing some love for the Europa League. That's true. That's worth pointing out. Frankfurt faces Ajax on Thursday at home after a nice comeback in Amsterdam last week. Viva la Europa League! Yeah, well done. Well done to bring that up. Yeah, I totally forgot about that. Frankfurt did fall behind early at Ajax and came from behind to win 2-1. So they're in a great position to make it to the quarterfinals.
Ajax leading the Dutch table right now, I believe. They had a huge turnaround in Holland as well, if I'm not mistaken. Let me look. Yeah, they're now PSV. When the Americans were crushing PSV, they were leading the league. Schoen, lose the Americans, you lose a league. Ajax are leading PSV now 8 points in the Dutch league. I mean, what a turnaround. Ajax, a club that almost last year were relegated. Eintracht Frankfurt, the last remaining German vestibule, or the last remaining German representative of the Europa League. Yeah, I don't know. I was like, that's not the way.
This is a horror movie. The Last German Vestibule.
What is a vestibule? Is a vestibule a foyer?
Yeah, it's like a little nook, I guess. Like
small space or entryway.
Yeah,
that leads into a larger area. But I have used that term like the last vestibule to the Europa League.
Vestiges, maybe. I think you're thinking of vestiges, perhaps.
Yeah, perhaps. Anywho,
let me help you.
Representative.
David Riccio and I are completely in sync here. He's also suggesting vestige.
I'm going to say it. They're the last vestibule left in Europa League. They are the small entryway from my heart through to the Europa League title. Is Eintracht Frankfurt, the last German vestibule there. How about that? I'm going to use that.
Vestibule.
But they are the last
German vegetable. The last German vegetable in the Europa League.
What is it? What is an exclusively German vegetable? What's a vegetable that exists in Germany?
Rhabarber? No.
Rhubarb, I guess. It's pretty German.
It's very German. Very exclusively. I mean, the potato is kind of, although the Irish have some exclusive as well. Not exclusive.
I mean, potato. Idaho, baby.
That's true. The what?
No. Idaho, baby.
Kohlrabi. That's a very German vegetable, in my opinion.
Excellent. I don't even know what that is.
Kohlrabi.
I'm gonna have to Google that one. But yeah, anyway.
Kohlrabi.
Next week, we could have one German team in the Champions League and one German in the Europa League. With Bayern München and Eintracht Frankfurt carrying both torches. We'll see. We'll see if Dortmund can get past Lille.
I mean, Frankfurt still's gotta do something on Thursday. It's not for sure yet, but we got one. We're only guaranteed one team, so in the quarterfinals. But I think Frankfurt's probably going to make it. Dortmund,
hopefully.
Who knows?
Who knows?
Okay, this is it. We've done it.
I think we did it. We caught up. Mainz crushing, Bochum surprising, Bayern.
I'm kind of having a weird hair day. I don't know what's going on.
For a while now. I need to get a haircut. Look at that.
Oh yeah, you look like a little bushiness there.
Well, we're rooting for Dortmund. We're rooting for a fun game. Maybe by Leverkusen get a goal in. Rooting for Frankfurt against Ajax. And,
I mean, Bayern may be fragile after this destruction over the weekend.
The destruction. The Bochum Bombers came in. Anyway,
all right. Lots to talk about on the other side. Come join us for the MLS Hour, where my team also won Just amazing. Just an amazing soccer day that was on Saturday. So
Symbiotic, perhaps.
And
FIFA ups the prize winning to $1 billion.
$1 billion. Where did they find it? All right.
Where do they find it? Indeed. All right. I'll see you all in the USA Hour. If not, we'll see you next week in the Deutsche Hour.
Sounds good.
Tschüss.
Tschüss.